What's going on, YouTube? Modeling that back at you with another F-14 Tomcat build update. This one, as you can see, we got quite a ways into it. Just kidding. Wasn't able to get that far, but was able to get quite a bit done here on the build here over the last, actually just a couple of days. I didn't work on it much through the last week after I uploaded those original videos. So, as you can see, you got the canopy all masked off. I do still need to do some interior stuff here on the canopy, getting the parts, the metal parts in. Sorry, let's see if I can get my camera. There we go. Get that locked in. I got some photo etch still put on the inside here before going through and fully painting it up. But plan on attaching it just as a mask for the cockpit. Which, speaking of, was able to get that completed. So let me adjust focus again. So this is the cockpit. This is the PE metal and some of the decals, but not all of them. To be honest, had a really hard time with the decals, getting them to bed or getting them down correctly using the Mr. Hobby mark setter and softener. It just really was super aggressive, and I had trouble with a lot of them either breaking apart or melting on me or just not laying in correctly. So I got to a point where on the main panels, like here in the Rio section, those are the decals, the big flat ones, but then the actual instrument clusters and stuff like that is more hand painted, including the all of the like radar screens and stuff like that. So as you can see, also got the front done there. Also have the gear bay pretty much ready to go. Might do a little bit of weathering because I just noticed a big panel back here that I missed. If you've seen the gear bays of a Tomcat, just Google it if you don't believe that it's, to be honest, worse than this. They are absolutely filthy. Like very few clean shots, and usually what those are is museum birds that I didn't really want to show off, really kind of do a thing for. The rings for the top of the area was painted with these awesome Posca pins. So painted it yellow and then came in and painted the black afterwards. These are, let's see, where is it? There we go. PC-1MR 0.7 millimeter. They're super fine tipped. A little bit different than what you would find for the Gundams. I did purchase a Gundam marker as well. This one being a little bit more of a yellowish orange to try to do for the tips of propellers. But as you can see, those look pretty good. Sorry for all of the shadows. Trying to do this with the flashlight on, that way you guys can see the detail. Alright, moving on away from the cockpit. Set that up out of the way safely. Also got the main part of the aircraft completed here. And in that, got the white sprayed into the intakes. For the most part, I'm pretty happy with how the intakes came together. They're a little textured from the applicators that I were using for the Plastruct plastic weld. So I think next time I might do it a little different. I still would like to use the Plastruct weld, but I think what I'm going to do is the next time I have Tamiya extra thin bottle that's out, if I can't find one, I'm probably going to try to utilize that for it just because of the brush. But also did a little trick where I had a heat gun and very, very carefully, because you can melt the plastic with it, but I applied down the steel color in AK's Extreme Metal, and then used a heat gun just to dry it very quickly so I could keep moving. Overall, happy with how it is. Main gear bays as well, really pretty much dirtied up. From what I was seeing though, the main flat panels are pretty clean, so went ahead and used some low odor thinner just to clean off the Tamiya panel line wash. Also use the Posca pins just to put in some of the line detail. Again, you got to think this thing is 70 seconds, so relatively tiny. You're not going to be studying it underneath a microscope or anything like that, because trust me, it'd have a lot of faults. Also got the back section on here. I do not have, obviously, the hook in yet. I'm going to leave that off until later, since it's a pretty simple drop-in fit. And then, yeah, got the bladders put in on both sides, so those are ready to go, and finished up with the lower stabilizer. So, going into the wings, the one thing that I love about this kit is the fact that they are 100% positionable wings. So again, you can have them as you've seen them like that. But the other nice thing is they're actually pretty simple to mold or to go ahead and put in like this. And they actually are pretty well held. For it not being the normal, monogram style of movable, like complete positionable wings like what you have on their version of the Tomcats. These lock in really well. Like it takes a lot. They have a little spring to them, so if they get bumped, it's not gonna just immediately fly off at you. So what I think I'm gonna probably do for this aircraft and all of my Tomcats that I have that are Hasegawas, I'm going to leave these as soft fits. I'm not going to actually affix them, just because if I wanted to, put the aircraft up, granted, with them in the deeper stowed position like this, it doesn't take that much more room, especially once I get the horizontals on the back. But at the same time, like, I can also, it's going to make masking and painting a lot easier, and everything like that. So, like I said, probably for me, that's how I'm going to do it, especially when I get to my other Tomcat, the pumpkin face, because I want to be able to show it kind of wings open, wings closed, things like that. Also got the gear bay doors pretty much good to go. There are some nasty ejector pin marks. I'm not even messing with them on this. Again, it's not going to be a show winner, but I'm going to enjoy the way this thing looks. Main gear struts and everything like that are mostly done. I still got the silver got to get on. Again, for the nose, you have two. You have kind of in the stowed position, just sitting on deck, and then you have the I'm trying to think what you want to call it, but basically just in the ready to launch position. Also went through, got the main gear bays all done here. All of the white work was my favorite white, Spastic Solid White, as well as the tail hook, which then I found out did not have an ounce of white on it at all. So a couple of gray colors, so I'll have to take, and it's a nice, uniform color to have, but I'm gonna have to obviously paint over that. Other than that, that's been the bulk of this. Like I said, a lot of the work this week was getting that cockpit finished. I'm really happy with how this turned out. You might notice there's a little rattle. It called for 5 grams of weight. Just use little BBs, and then some Mod Podge PVA style glue, just to affix most of them. If it has a little rattle, I'm not going to worry that much about it. This thing's going to be sitting on a shelf 90% of the time, and even if I take it to a show, it's not going to be that big of a deal if there's a little tiny bit of rattle to it. Outside of that, that's about it. Yeah, hopefully you guys are enjoying the series, and I will get you guys another build update next weekend. Have a very happy Thanksgiving for everyone in the States, and I will catch you guys later.